As we enter the new year, I get a lot of questions from clients asking, what kind of business do I start? Some people don't know what's the difference between a nonprofit and a for-profit. Do I do an LLC? All of these types of questions are routinely asked of me. And I've developed what I would call a 5-point system of what you can look at to determine what entity you should choose. Now, hopefully after watching this short video, you're not going to know which entity you want to choose, but at least these are things that you can go to a lawyer with and have an understanding of what to consider so then they can properly advise you. The critical part about hiring an attorney is not just having the attorney, but having the right information to provide them with so they can guide you. All right, first one, creation. How do you want to create the business? Do you want to go through extra process? Do you want to go through steps? Or do you just want to start and move on? The second part, who's going to own and manage this entity? Ownership and management are quite different. Sometimes the owners are actually the managers, for example, in a sole proprietorship or a partnership. However, sometimes the owners are actually not the managers. For example, in a corporation, you can own stock in the shares of a corporation and you're actually an owner, but you have no management responsibility. So those are important things to consider, ownership and management. That's number two. Number three, liability. Liability is the first thing that as a lawyer, we want to discuss. Are you going to be liable and how far are you liable? There's two types of liability. First liability is personal liability. Personal liability means that you're liable for the debt of the company as well as your personal asset. It's very deep and it's very significant. So you should be concerned about that. The second type of liability is limited liability. That type of liability means that basically you're only liable for whatever you've invested into the company. So if the company goes belly up, you're not responsible personally. Number four is going to be Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam got to get his money, right? Uncle Sam is always there. We know that. So taxes. How do you pay taxes? Taxes have a variety of different ways. Your entity can be considered what we call a pass-through entity, which means that the income of that entity is actually your personal income, or it can be double taxation. Now, double taxation means very simply that the corporation is taxed or the business is taxed, and then you're taxed separately when you issue dividends. There are pros and cons to both, but that is something you should know about. And the very last thing, as I tell everyone, the way you get in is the way you get out. So the issue is, how do you dissolve this entity? And that's going to be important because sometimes you may have relationships with people and you create certain entities and then you now have an issue of how to dissolve it. So those are my 5 simple points: creation, ownership management, liability, taxes, and dissolution. You think about those 5 points and then you go find yourself a great lawyer like here at MFI.